Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. In this video we're gonna take a look at this new but discontinued Casio G-Shock GA-2110ET-8A. Yes, this model was launched in November 2020 and Casio decided to announce that it's no longer in production somewhere around late December 2020. This model is part of the Earth Color Tone series of the ever popular G-Shock GA-2100. Well, again, it was released in November 2020 and it consists of this gray color variant and a blue with an off-white bezel color variant. This gray version is the more popular model, but unfortunately it's discontinued or no longer in production now. I managed to get one in January 2021. At that time, I was not aware that it has been discontinued. So let's jump into some details of the watch here. The watch has a case diameter of 45.3 millimeters. The thickness is just 11.6 millimeters, which is quite thin for a G-Shock. The lug-to-lug distance when measured on the case is around 48.3 millimeters. But then again, as with most of the G-Shocks out there, we have like a fixed connection of the watch strap to the watch, making the effective lug-to-lug distance slightly bigger here. And I believe it comes with, I'm not too sure how to measure this, but I believe it comes with a regular 16 millimeters lug width, as with most of the G-Shocks that we have in the market. The case is protected by a resin shroud that has a two-tone grey color. There is a darker grey on the bezel. This case is what Casio calls the carbon core guard. It is made out of a durable, strong and lightweight carbon fiber protecting the module inside. This model, along with the regular GA-2100, comes with quick release strap. The main difference that I noticed is that the buckle on the strap is made out of plastics, whereas on the regular GA-2100 it's made out of metal. Durability wise, I prefer the metal buckle, but I guess it's part of the cost cutting measure Casio adopted when releasing new iteration of the watches. The case back is a typical stainless steel case back held by 4 screws. It is engraved as caged in Thailand. I'm not sure whether you can see that. Let me just try to move in closer a little bit. Yep. So it's cased in Thailand, and here we have the carbon core guard logo engraved on the case back. The watch has an analog digital layout. We have an hour and minute hand. There is also an analog hand indicating the day of the week. Between the 4 and 6 o'clock position, we have a digital display. In normal timekeeping mode, it can be used to show the date or the digital time. So I'm showing the date here. It can also be used to show time in different parts of the world because this watch has a world time function. It acts as a main display when used to adjust the watch. We will go a little in depth in about the functions and the settings of the watch later. Despite the chunky hour markers and the white markings on the chapter ring, there is no lume on them. Only the hands have lume, and I would say they are media core at best. Well, fear not, we have a light. It's a white color LED to help us read the time in the dark. So you see this light, we can press the light button and we have this white LED to sort of shine on the base of the watch. So let's go into some functions and settings of the watch here. So if we press mode, we can have world time. So we can show times of different parts of the world, and then we can cycle through the cities by pressing either the light or the start button. So it's Paris, I don't know, what is this? So the display is quite small, so you have to like let it cycle through then for you to read. So this is the Berlin time, and if you want to change to like different time zone, like for example, I believe this is Athens, then you can. And then if you decided to go back, I believe you can press the light button, then you can. Nope, it's only one button. So yeah, you have to cycle through. So this is the world time function. And after that, we have the regular stopwatch, which I'm not gonna start. And we also have a timer and alarm. I believe, let's see how many alarms we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and signal. And so we have 5 alarms here. And that's it. This is the regular timekeeping mode. And if you press adjust, for a short while, it will just show like, okay, what's the current time zone. So here I'm setting it to Singapore, so we have nothing else. But in order to really set the date and the time and all the functions of the watch, what we need to do is to press and hold the adjust button until you hear a different beep, and you can see the hands, they will sort of move out of the way of that main display for us to, you know, set the time and all that. So here is, first of all, is the time zone that you are in. So now in Singapore, so you can also like move to Hong Kong. And then if you decided to go back, you just press the light button, it will cycle backwards. Then after the time zone is set, we have the daylight saving time. So here, obviously, we do not have that daylight saving time here. So it's off. And you can decide to display the time as regular 12 hours or 24 hours. Then I believe it's to the usual time setting. So this is the second, this is the hour. So you can go up, you can go down with the light button. Minutes, year. So this watch comes with an auto calendar. So what you need to do is to set the year, the month, the date, and the day of the week will go on automatically. And here we have an option to turn off the beeps of the key. So here you can see the key and the musical note symbol. And if you decided to turn it off, you can get this mute displayed. So I'm just leaving it on here. And light, we can set how long you want the light to be. So it can go from 1 second to 3 seconds. So it depends on how long do you want the interval to be. So the longer the interval, the more the battery it will consume. So back to normal timekeeping mode here. Okay, so once you're done, you can see that the hands will move back to the time that we are setting. So I think we are, yep. So I'm displaying the date, but there is an option. Let's see, if you want to display the digital time, just press the start button here, then you can display the digital time. The analog hand is sort of like a slave hand, so we cannot set them independently like some of the older analog digital edifice watches. Here is just a slave to the digital time that we set here. Alright, I guess that's about it for the function of the watch. Let's do some wrist-shots. Alright, this is how the watch looks on my 6-inch or 15.2 centimeters wrist. It is big, obviously, because it's a G-Shock, but however, it's still not too big. I mean, if you look at it, it's huge and rugged and all that, but it's supposed to be that way. But the one key factor here is that how thin the watch is. So compared to, say, most of the regular G-Shocks, including the compact square G-Shocks, this one I believe is thinner than those square G-Shocks here. Yep, so it's quite wearable even if you have a small wrist. And I got a tip from my fellow watch buddies that maybe Casio will introduce this Casio Oak K series but in a smaller dimensions. I'm not too sure if that will be called Baby G or it's still under the same G-Shock lineup, but it's supposed to have the same analog digital layout but in a slightly smaller case size. So, right, so some closing thought before I end the video here. So should you be getting one of this? Well, the answer is quite clear. If you can still find one at a reasonable price and you happen to like the case shape and even like the color, yeah, I don't think there's any reason for you not getting one. But if you feel that the price is slightly overpriced, then maybe you can get a different color of GA-2110, or even just wait for the newer, smaller case size, if that's something that you are into. I got this for about, I would say, 125 US dollars. It's not cheap, it's not very cheap if compared to the more affordable G-Shocks, but I think it's still okay for the price for what you're getting, because you're getting like a carbon core guard series, you have an analog digital watch, and I don't really have like an analog digital Casio. I know there are a lot of models that have analog and digital display for G-Shock, but they seem to be overly or massively big. This one is already on the borderline for me, so but I happen to like the gray color, and I wanted to get the all black version of the regular GA-2100, but that was speculated to a skyrocket price, and then there are a lot of fake versions in the market, so I decided to get the gray instead. And it's also quite legible because we have a positive display. I believe the all black version has a negative display. Alright, so that's it for this video. If you're new to the channel, please help to subscribe to my channel. It does help me a lot. And you can also follow me on my Instagram at gfw_watch for more watch pictures. Till then, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye.